Hello and good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good people of the tube. Hope well today. Hope you are feeling grand and all is well in your world. Hello there, everybody. Today, I'm going to replace the saddles on the ST62. A very good friend of mine called Mark has been very, very kind, and he's given me some replacement saddles. So I am extremely grateful and extremely happy because these ones are, bad word, knackered, lack of a better word. So we're going to replace these today. I thought I'd film it. I like these ones more because they say Pat Pending on them and being a bit of a yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I just like that. I don't know, stupidity. Anyway, so yeah. So I'm going to take these off, and I'm not going to get rid of them. I'm going to keep them with the guitar just because they're the original saddles. But they're not usable, especially the EA and the D. I've had it well and truly. I mean, they're just not in very good shape. So I'm going to take them off today. I thought I'd film the process as well, and also I'm going to show you the insides of the ST62 as well. I thought I'd take the scratch plate off and show you that. So, without further ado, get the Okay, so you join me on my amazing workbench again, everybody, aka the floor. Bear Grylls. You got to adapt and improvise to these situations. Anyway, I'm gonna get the strings off, and then we're gonna start replacing these cells. But I think the first thing I'll do is I'll show you the inside of the scratch plate, because if anybody has one of these things, they might be able to point out things that might be a bit wrong or anything that might look a bit awry in it. Because, like I say, there's no position 2 and 4, even though it's a 5-way switch. I don't know if there's something I'm not seeing with the electrics or something like that. I don't know. I mean, it's neat. It's neat, but it's definitely been played with, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, and then once we've put everything back, and I also want to check these magnets are all level on the underside as well. So once all that's done, we'll put the scratch plate back on, and we'll start changing the saddles out, which I have a distinct feeling is not going to be an easy job, and I don't know why. I've just got, when you have one of those kind of dark, dingy feelings that something that should be easy is going to be difficult. So especially the E, A and D, I don't know. Something's bothering me about them. Anyway, I'm not going to take the strings out. I'm just going to leave them like that, off, and then I'm just basically going to take the old saddle off and then thread the new one in. I'm not going to be messing around with changing the strings on it or anything like that. So, let me get the screws out of the scratch plate, and then I'll show you the guts. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to see this. So we got the scratch plate back. These pickups I don't know what these pickups are. I'm pretty sure they're obviously originals, but and they're not ceramic. They're actual proper, pole piece magnets and stuff like that, and they're really good condition. But again, it's got the kind of the cheaper wiring. But these pickups, when I got this, all these pole piece magnets were pushed through. The stagger was actually on the underside. It was quite bizarre actually, because I'm used to seeing the stagger on pickups like that. So you can see down there, you've got the vintage stagger. That stagger was on the underside here. So, I don't know why somebody had done that. I don't know if it does happen by accident or what. So, moving to the electrics, like I say, I mean, they all look original, but the soldering on the pickups looks really dodgy, and also the soldering on the tone pots as well. It just doesn't look like this is factory soldering. That is all that on the pots is factory soldering. That is not, and this is not. There's no way it left the Japanese Fender factory with that kind of soldering. That is somebody's either, I don't know what they've done, but they messed with it or whatnot. I don't know, but it's very messy on the earth wire, the free pickups, I'm guessing, I think that's the neck, middle, and bridge. They've been desoldered and resoldered, and also that solder joint there on the end, which goes through to the middle tone control, that's been resoldered as well. That one has not been touched. That one's neat and tidy, and also that looks like it's as is as well. But it's very neat. It's very, very clean, very, very tidy. Let me show you inside the cavities quickly. Very clean now. I finally, got it, all the gunk out and everything. That took a long time. Got a nice little worm route there. It's very neat in here. It wasn't when I got it though. Like I say, I wish I'd kept the original scratch plate now actually to show you the underside of it, because it was disgusting. It was like it was brown. Whatever the sticky fizzy substance was that was spilt in this guitar was brown. I'm guessing it was either like Coke or Pepsi or something. I don't know, but I've managed to get all of it. Well, pretty much all of it out. There is little remnants of it, but supremely nice, very neat in the routes. Nice worm route. That's extremely neat. Yeah. So that's the guts of the ST62, everybody. I just wanted to check these pole pieces are right as well, because, like I say, the stagger was on the inside, and you can just poke these magnets through to give them a different stagger. And I don't know if that had happened by accident or what, and it sounded weird. It was amazing how different it sounded with the stagger to it not being there. Totally bizarre. Anyway, be that for what it may. So that's the insides, everybody. If there's anything you can see that I am not seeing, let me know in the comment section below, because I don't really know a great deal about, I'm not that great with electronics. So if there's anything you can see that might look a bit wrong, let me know in the comment section below. But like I say, some of these solder joints I can tell are not factory. This one, that one there, that one there, that one there, and that one there are not factory. They are no way. They are not tidy enough. If you look at the other ones, like say on the tone pots with this joining wire there, they're so neat and clean. These are just like really rough, and they're just I don't know. Maybe somebody changed the pickups at some point and then put these ones back in, or I have no idea. Anyway, so yeah, that's enough of that. Let me get the scratch plate back on. There's bits of polyurethane finish flaking everywhere, and yeah, let's get the saddles changed. Just quickly as well, just as a little bit of a side note here, the original scratch plate would have been right spec for a 1962 Strat, which means, hang on a minute, we've got all the strings caught now on the magnets, means that screw hole there would have been there. It would have been kind of middle of both those pickups. So the original scratch plate would have had a period correct scratch plate hole, and you can see that still there. If I just move that back over there, you can see that one there, and this is the replacement one that somebody's added, and it's just not as neat. It's a bit rough and ready, and the screw kind of goes in it, but it just turns and turns and turns. It's like an infinite screw. But you can see that it did have an original, it did have period correct, the right kind of screw hole at some point in its life. So, but for some reason these guitars came with a white scratch plate, and I'm not 100% sure why they did that, because it should have been mint green. But far be it from me to understand that one. Anyway, let's go on with saddle replacement. Okay, so starting with the low E string saddle replacement. This one is coming off nice and easy, which is nice, because I was a bit worried about this one. If this one comes off easy, they all should. But don't count your chickens before they hatch. So, okay, what have we got? Oh, nothing. We ain't got. I thought, oh, hang on. Yeah, we've got a bit of an issue. Oh, no, we haven't. No, we're okay. It's just hung up. It's okay. Come on, Mr. Screw. Out you come. There we go. Right, I'm going to need the spring. Okay, so what I'm going to do, like I say, I'm not going to take the strings away. I'm just going to leave the strings hanging off the back end, and I'm just going to thread the new saddle on. So, new saddle, old saddle, sorry. Good gravy. Look at the state of that. Okay, so just pull the string straight, basically. So it's not curled, basically. Then thread the old saddle through. So I don't know if you'll be able to see, I don't know how well the camera will pick this up, but this is the old saddle. The whole of the back is pretty much threaded out. What else threaded out? It's rusty as anything. It's just... It certainly looks cool, but functionality-wise, it's just... Had it. Absolutely had it. So we'll put that over there. We'll keep them in order though. Oh my good gravy! I didn't notice either, but I don't know how well you'll be able to see this one. But the screw is actually bent as well. I don't know if you can kind of see it. If I rotate it against the wall, hopefully at some point it might reveal itself to be absolutely bent. So that might be one of the reasons why it won't adjust properly as well. It barely goes back in right. Okay, so the adjustment screw is bent. Okay, so that explains that one. Okay, so time to put the replacement one on. Like I say, I'm a bit silly in the fact that I do like the fact of this new saddle. Thanks to Mark, it says "Pat Pending" on it, just because, you know, history. There's something about having that two little words on a saddle that makes me very happy. Call me sad if you want, but I like it. Okay, so new saddle in place. Let's with a straight screw. Oh my god, that's so much nicer. There's just literally no resistance on that other one. Taking that one out, you could feel the resistance of it. Okay, so there we go. So that's the first one on. Yeah. So let's basically rinse and repeat for the next load, really, for the next 5. So once I've got them all on, I'll be back, and then we need to get it intonated, and then we'll plug it in and see if it feels any different, or I'll see if just see if it plays a little bit better. The intonation on this was a bit sketch, especially on the E, A, and D. The intonation was in, but only just, if that makes any sense. It was it was a bit here and there, but it was good enough. It wasn't horrific or anything like that, but it could have been better. So hopefully these will rectify that intonation issue. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit when we've rinsed and repeated this thing. So back in a sec. Okay, so all saddles are replaced. Funnily enough, the E, A, and D came off really easily. The G string, however, that little this one here, decided to just absolutely not work. It was seized, and took a lot of thingy. The grub screws on this one don't even move. I can't get them to move now. They've seized up again. So I'm not going to bother with it anymore. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to label which one's what and keep them with the guitar, but they're knackered. And also the screw on the back. This this adjustment screw on the back is even more bent than the low E string was. Every adjustment screw on those saddles was bent. I don't how or why, I don't know. There's bits of polyurethane black finish all over me. So what I need to do now is get a rough height adjustment, because they're all super low and they're all touching the fretboards. I don't know how this is going to affect the neck. I might have to re-shim it, maybe. I don't think we will, but I think we've got enough adjustment down here, but let's find out. So, what to do? I need a tuner. Where's my tuner? Tuner! I've had this tuner for absolutely ages. It's a Seiko tuner. And I've got it. I got this with the Squier Affinity. So I've had this since 2002. And it's still the best tuner I have for intonation and just in general tuning. It's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It never fails to impress me how spot on it is. Okay, so we've got the low E. I'm just going to get an idea of where the low E intonation needs to be. Just because I'm curious. And then because, like I say, with intonation, what you're looking for is you're looking for like E here, A, and D, and they step up like that. So E is the lowest, so the E is the furthest back on the board, and then the A should be kind of next one up in line, next step up, and then the D should be the next step up from that. Technically, that isn't true on every guitar, so just trust your tuner. But that is technically kind of like the pattern of an intonated guitar. And then it happens with the G string as well. So the G string will drop down. So you'll go from low E, step up to the A, step up to the D, and you'll step down to the G, and then you'll repeat that process, stepping up to the B, stepping up to the high E, and then that should be kind of intonated. It's kind of like, it's like that. You know, they're kind of like that kind of pattern. But like I say, that isn't necessarily always true. I have intonated guitars before with very... Joe had a Squier Silver Series Stratocaster, and the low E string on that was really far back, but the A string was really far forward, and the D string was really, was quite far back. But the guitar was perfectly intonated. So I don't know why it was why that guitar was that way, but it was. So and also one of my guitars, I forget which one it is now, but the A string is further forward than the D on one of my other guitars. I forget which one it is. But yeah, so I'll tell you what is nice though on these saddles. The grooves in the top where the string's been on the old saddles is so worn in, so rough and like ready. The string alignment wasn't on with these saddles because they've never been used. And there's no grooves in them. I can really get the string positioning right, and that's really, really cool because the string position was not great. It wasn't horrific, but it wasn't great. So anyway, where were we? Intonation. So low E. Okay, so how far are we out with the intonation here? A bit out. No, that's bob on. That's bob on. How is that bob on? I just screwed that thing in. That can't be right. Yeah, well, there you go. Be that for what it is. That was fluke if I've ever seen it. So, low E string seems to be intonated. I mean, it sounds right. Sounds bob on to me. So the A string, I'm guessing, will have to come this way a bit, and the D string will have to come this way a bit. The G string will probably be okay where it is. B would move up, and that low E, high E would move up. But that might change yet. So height. I need to get the height right because the height on that low E. That's not bad actually. I think that's okay. So what I'm going to do now, the low E is kind of like at a height I like. It's at a nice height actually. It's really comfortable. It doesn't buzz. You're getting a pretty true note out of it at this point in time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to set the strings up going off the height of this low E. So as I look at it, basically the A wants to be kind of like, if that's the low E, the A, as I look at it, wants to be about there, and then the D wants to be above that, and then the G, B, and E, because they all slope upwards, basically. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll recheck the intonation. Oh, and we'll get it in tune, and then we'll recheck the intonation on it. And then we'll plug it in and have some fun. Which is always a fun part. Oh, quick other note as well. When setting your string height, I always think it's better to do it in a playing position. I did used to do it for years and years and years like this, but I think this position as you're playing it is better. I don't know if there's any weight to that argument, but for me it's how I do it now. So yes, that's I suppose that's little Dave's tip of the day. I think we'll have enough adjustment on these saddles. I don't think we'll have to take the shim out of the neck. I think we'll be okay. Certainly hope we'll be okay. Yeah, we'll definitely be okay. Okay, so that's the A in. So yeah, back in a sec. Okie dokie, so we've got a kind of rough idea of where the height of the strings need to be. Because of the frets on this guitar are so worn out and so low, it has to be really high. It's a little bit... It's not too high, but it's a little bit higher than I would like. I've nearly ran out of adjustment on the A saddle. It's the A saddle's grub screws are as far as they go. I don't really want to push it anymore. But the action's... It's playable. yeah, it's definitely playable. It's not like it's horrific or anything like that. It's just it's a little bit higher than I would normally like it to be, but it's okay. You know what I mean? I wouldn't complain if this was handed to me to play it at all. It'd be quite. I'd be quite comfy to play it. So, low E string wasn't adjusted intonation wise, right? So I'm gonna have to redo that. So we are not quite right in the low E. So I thought it was too good to be true. I've got it right now though. So I've had to pull back the low E saddle. It wasn't quite right where it was. I thought, oh, I'd fluked it, but I hadn't. So darn it. Okay, so moving on to the A. So where are we with the A? Okay, now that can't be right. Oh, we're not quite in tune. Okay. No, A string though seems to be okay. And the A string's actually in the right place. I would actually looking at the low E saddle, and then looking at the A saddle. They are kind of the right shape. Like I say, like they step up. So E is the lowest, A's next one up, and then D's the highest on the low three strings. So the A is actually kind of, it looks like it's in the right place. So let's check out the D though, because the D looks like it's too far back. But let's find out. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so the D string's flat, so it needs to come forward, so we need to slacken. Oh, this is so nice to be able to turn the screw on the back and it actually behave. That's my experience with this guitar of like turning those adjustment screws. Was like you just have to crank on it and it barely moves. So this is lovely. Thank you, Mr. Mark. Okay, so are we about in? Yeah, that's close enough. Yay! Okay, so we've got the D string. So yeah, they've gone in the exact pattern you would expect. Hopefully you'll be able to, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but you can hopefully see the E, A and D are now kind of stepping up. So E lowest, A is medium, and then D is the highest. So so that's that one. And also, I find doing intonation in the playing position like this is better than doing it like that. Because that way can give you a false reading. Because it's not a playing position unless you're T-Bone Walker or Jeff Healey. Whereas, you know, this seems to give a bit more of an accurate reading. I've done intonation like that before where it says it's in tune and I go to play it and I'm like, that's not intonated. You can hear it's not intonated. So when you're setting your saddle height and intonation, I would always recommend doing it in a playing position. I didn't do it for the longest time and I forget who it was who told me, or it was a video on YouTube or what, but it's definitely true. I think it was Dan Irwine actually from Stu Mac Guitars who was talking about kind of doing intonation and playing angle, like doing it like this when he went to see visit Joe Bonamassa at Red Rocks. But I could be wrong. I don't remember. So yeah, so we've got the D string, A string, and low E intonated. So I'll redo the same thing for the G, B, and E. And yeah, I'll check it and check it again. And then we'll plug it in and have some fun. Make some noise with this thing. Because it does sound rather lovely, I've got to say. And I am slowly falling in love with this guitar, but my gravy, would it be so much better with a refret? Because these frets at this point in time are ruining this guitar more than the electrics. Because the electrics, although hammered, function just about. The frets on this don't really function, and they hinder the guitar because they hinder its playability. Like I say, the neck is where you spend most of the time on the guitar. So if the neck doesn't feel right or play right, you know, you're gonna be in trouble. So so that's a real shame. It's a shame I can't afford to get it refretted, and I can't get it refretted at this point in time anyway because of Quarantino. But yeah. Yeah, but it's playable. You can play it, so all is well. So, continue with the intonation. String height is about right for where it needs to be. That might need adjusting, but I highly doubt it. So yeah, let's keep going with this. See you in a sec. Okay, I do apologise about the noise outside. But yeah, we are there. We have got the string height bob on. happy days. It's as good as it can be at this point in time with the frets. Intonation is in. Very classic looking intonation pattern going on. I'll show you that in a sec. I'm debating something. And what I'm debating is to set the tremolo up to float a little. I don't have a guitar with a floating tremolo because I don't like it normally. Because I don't like the idea of breaking a string and then your guitar's gone. You know, the tuning just goes out of whack. So, I don't normally do it. But I don't play this guitar a great deal because obviously, you know, Mr. Fretwork here. And I'm debating whether I might do it to this for a while. Just for, you know, because I kind of fancy having a guitar and get those kind of Dave Gilmour-y kind of tremolo arm wibbly wobbly bits out of. And I don't have a guitar that's set up to do that. All my guitars only dive. They don't kind of, you know, you can't get that wibble, that Dave Gilmour, Hank Marvin wibble out of a tremolo arm with any of my guitars because they're just not set up that way. They're set up to be, you know, flat down onto the body, and so you can only dive bomb it, you know. I set all my guitars up, so what I do is I bend up the 15th fret on the B and play the low E string at the same time. So basically just play the low E and then play the 15th fret and then bend it up. And I don't want that low E string to bow out of tune because I just don't like it. This is how I've always kind of done this. So what I do is, like I say, play the low E string and then bend up this string. And that low E string shouldn't bow out of tune if I just played the low E. So you can hear I'm bending that the B string up all the way a tone, and that low E string is not shifting at all. And that's how I set up all my guitars, because I find that's what gives me for the way I play the most tuning stability. And I can still use a tremolo, I can still dive bomb it, but I just find that's just what works for me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to set it up to float. And if I don't like it, I can always change it back. It's not like it's a difficult job. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to that'll probably be the wrong screwdriver for this. It'll be probably that one, won't it? That's the one. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go into the back, into the claw cavity, and basically just undo these two screws. Just wind them out a bit. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it over and just keep an eye on these on the tremolo, because I don't want it to float too much. See, that's about as much as I would want. It just gives it that kind of Dave Gilmour shine on you crazy diamond kind of thing. Yeah, it's just enough. So that's bob on that one. And I always go for this configuration of springs. I like them in parallel. I know people like Gary Moore and people like that have them have the triangle, but I like the parallel. I've always found the parallel spring configuration to work out better myself. Yeah. So there we go. So yeah, I mean that's not even floating a millimeter off the body. That's probably like, I don't know, that's probably nothing. I mean, that's a pretty thick pick. Hang on a minute. We have a thin one up here, don't we? So, that's a .50 plectrum. And that's pushing the tremolo up. So, .50mm plectrum can push the tremolo up. It's just set just enough. So I can get that. Which is what I want. I don't want it to be kind of like crazy over the top, Jeff Beck-esque kind of tremolo where it's kind of like, about 1.5 millimeters, 1.5 mil off the body. I don't want that. I just want a little bit, just so I can get a bit more of that Dave Gilmour-y kind of thing. So there we go. That's done. And that's how you adjust your tremolo, everybody. For anybody who doesn't know, this is why I never have I think Strats sound better without backplates. I think a backplate kind of kills the guitar. I don't know if that's me. It's probably just me being dead neurotic, but I personally find that taking the backplate off a Stratocaster makes it better. So I don't have backplates on any of my guitars. I just don't. I don't get them. They're just pointless. I binned. The only ones I've kept are the 62 Strats and Mr. White's and my Washburn, my first ever guitar. Those 3 backplates are the only ones I've kept. The rest, from all the guitars I've ever had, I chuck them because they're just pointless to me. They hinder with restringing. They hinder with changing the tremolo. I just don't like them. I don't like it. And also, I always like the fact that a Stratocaster has an inbuilt reverb. technically got an inbuilt spring reverb in a way. But yeah, so that's how I've adjusted that now. So height's right, intonation's in. We've got it set to float. I don't know how well that'll work out. That might not be there in a couple of days. I might not be there tomorrow. We'll see how it feels in a minute. So yeah, I'm just going to retune, and then we're going to plug it in and make some noise with it and see if we can get some of that Dave Gilmour-y wibble out of it. Just crank loads of reverb and delay on and go from there, really. So yeah, let's plug in. Okay, so we are retuned, intonated, resaddled, and and plugging in and making a noise. So I recently changed my Flexi out. Actually, this isn't the Flexi I've been using for a long time. I've switched it actually to my. This is the second ever MG I got, but it's the third. Actually, it's technically the 4th Flexi I own, but this is the second ever MG I've got. And this is the older model. This is the 2007, I think this one is from 2007. And it's got a stronger reverb than the other 2. My number 1 and my number 3 MGs, they've got a bit of a weaker reverb. This one, really strong, deep reverb sound. So at this point in time, they've got it at 6, and it's really... the decay on it is just gorgeous. It's really, really nice. So, and the floating trem as well, which is... Try that again. I don't know, I quite like it. I mean, the tremolo's not floating horrifically. You know what I mean? It's not really high up. It has come up a bit more since I retuned it. Because obviously when I backed off the claw screws, it obviously went flat. The guitar went to like basically E flat. So the tremolo has come up a bit more than it was. It's probably about 1 millimeter off the body at this point in time, but it's nice. I mean, the arm on this guitar sticks up an absolute mile, and I like that. I don't like it when tremolo arms sit really close to the body. I don't think you can get as much purchase on them. I think they just feel always better to me when they're kind of like, cranked, like, to the sky, so to say. So and I'm pretty sure this isn't the original arm. The white tip it's too white. I'm pretty sure that wouldn't have been the case. So I'm pretty sure this isn't the original tremolo arm. It doesn't fit quite right either. It frets okay, but it's not brilliant. Okay, so it's lovely. It's nice actually. I really like it. So yeah, that's the Dave Gilmour thing I'm all about. It's not kind of crazy Hank Marvin where you're just kind of going. You know, that kind of thing. It's just that kind of note that's kind of wong, wong. It's almost like a Leslie speaker on slow. You know, super, super slow kind of vibrato-y kind of thing. So yeah, so it works. I'm happy. These saddles look absolutely wicked as well. They really suit, really suit the guitar. And like I say, they say Pat Pending on them, which is ridiculous thing to be overly excited about, but I am. So yeah, and as I say, they were just a dream to adjust. Considering I've been kind of struggling and fighting with the originals since I got this guitar, having these ones that just kind of like you go in, you can actually just turn them and they actually work. It's a godsend. So yeah, this works really well. I'm happy. I say jack socket, select switch, everything else. So that's one job down, basically, on the ST62. The main job will be the frets, but I won't be doing that. When I can afford it and lockdown's over, it'll be going to a local luthier and it'll be refretted. So the next job that I need to do with this is getting better electrics. Well, not better electrics, replacement electrics, because these back in the day would have been perfect. They just haven't been looked after. So I need a select switch that works. I need volume pots, tone pots. I think I'm just going to get a loom, basically, just like a wiring loom, like an old, maybe a cloth wiring one. Again, when I can afford to. And I also need to get a replacement jack socket as well, as this one's, as you can hear, scratchy as hell. And sometimes it doesn't work. You've got to kind of find a sweet spot sometimes where it actually behaves. Other than that, this guitar is all wicked and raring to have a life again. I'm happy the machine heads are good. I'm really happy I don't have to replace them. I was happy I didn't have to re-shim the neck or take the shim out of the neck. So yeah, thank you Mark very much for the saddles. They've absolutely, that is just awesome. Thank you so much indeed. I appreciate that no end, I really do. Like I said, I'm going to keep the old saddles with the guitar just for prosperity, just because, they've been on this guitar since 91 and 1990, sorry, it's the 90s. So I'm going to keep them with the guitar. They're knackered, they've had it, they won't be used again. But it's nice to keep them with the guitar, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that's me being silly. I don't want to bin them, though. I don't know, there's just something about, I just feel like I want to keep them with the guitar. Anyway, that thing I just played, that just came out of nowhere. I'm going to create a backing track to that, and I'm going to play you out with it. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. Hopefully it'll be okay. And yeah, there is a bit of a crackle, like an electronic crackle with this guitar as well, which again I'm guessing is coming from somewhere in here. I don't know exactly where from. But yeah, I am so happy. I'm really, really happy. I'm chuffed a bit. And like I say, I know I shouldn't get overly excited at the words Pat Pending on a saddle, but I like the look and vibe of old Stratocasters, and it just adds something else. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just being stupid now. Anyway, pedantic, stupid, idiot. I don't know. One of them. Pick whichever one you want. But I don't know. It just makes me happy. And yeah. So and it is the classic intonation pattern we've got on the saddles. I don't know. Hopefully you might be able to see that. Hopefully you can kind of see. They step up. Oh, there we go. I think that quite got it. So you can kind of see there's like a step up pattern to them. So like the low E and G, the low E and G are kind of like the lowest. The A and the B are kind of like a middle, and then D and the high E are the highest. So so yeah. There we go, we are intonated, we are away, so let's create a backing track and play you out. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. I hope there was something in there you could kind of take away, if you will. And yeah, I'll see you again very soon for another vid. Take care of yourself in these weirdo times that we're in right now. Yeah, just take care of yourselves, be happy, be smiley. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. I'll see you again very soon. Again, a massive thanks to Mark so much. Thank you so much for these saddles. It really, really helps. It really does, and it's just wicked. Thank you so much indeed. I'm so grateful. So yes, yeah, I'll see you again. Have a great one, everybody. Goodbye now.